O-Level Chemistry, Paper Code 5070, Paper 1 Variant 2, May June 16. And today we are going to solve question number 21 to question number 40. Question number 21. In which reaction are two of the products solved? Option A, aqueous lead nitrate and aqueous copper sulfate. When we react aqueous lead nitrate and aqueous copper sulfate, we get copper nitrate and lead sulfate. Both copper nitrate and lead sulfate are solved, so here it is our correct option. Because it is asked here, in which reaction are two of the products solved? So here two of the products are solved. Okay, what is given in the other options? In option B, sodium hydroxide and solid ammonium sulfate. When we react sodium hydroxide and solid ammonium sulfate, we get ammonium hydroxide and sodium sulfate. Here sodium sulfate is a salt, but ammonium hydroxide is not a salt, it is an alkali. So this option incorrect. Option C, dilute hydrochloric acid and aqueous carbonate. When we react hydrochloric acid and aqueous sodium carbonate, we get sodium chloride, carbon dioxide and water. Here sodium chloride is a salt, but neither carbon dioxide nor water is a salt. So C is also incorrect. D, dilute hydrochloric acid and magnesium. The reaction in between hydrochloric acid and magnesium gives magnesium chloride and hydrogen gas. Here magnesium chloride is a salt, but hydrogen gas is not a salt. So here option D is also incorrect. Correct option A, where copper nitrate and lead sulfate both are salts. Question number 22 is same as in paper 1 variant 1. This video I have already uploaded. I will share the link in the description. So for the explanation of the questions, please watch that video. Question number 23. From their positions in the periodic table, which statement is correct? Option A, atoms of elements in group 7 react to form ions by losing one electron. Group 7 members do not lose electron, they gain one electron. So this option is incorrect. Option B, iodine can displace bromine from its salt. Both iodine and bromine belongs to 7A group. And in 7A group, when we move down the group, reactivity decreases. So iodine is less reactive than bromine. So iodine cannot replace bromine from its salt. So this option is also incorrect. Option C, potassium reacts more rapidly than lithium with water to form the hydroxide and hydrogen. Yes, it is correct. Both potassium and lithium, they belong to 1A group, and when we move down the group, reactivity increases. So here potassium will be more reactive than lithium. So potassium will react with water more rapidly as compared to lithium. So here it is our correct option that potassium reacts more rapidly than lithium. Option D, the melting point of cesium is greater than that of potassium. Melting point depends on the molecular mass or atomic mass. Now atomic mass of cesium is more as compared to potassium, so melting point of cesium will be more as compared to potassium. So option D is also incorrect. Here correct option is option C. Question number 24 is again same from paper 1 variant 1. Question number 25. An atom of an element has 8 electrons only. Which statement about this element is correct? Option A, it forms an ion with 2 negative charges. Yes, it is correct option. It is given here, it has total 8 electrons. 8 electrons means 2 electrons on the first orbital and 6 electrons in the second orbital. Now all the elements, they need 8 electrons in the last orbital. So here this element need 2 more electrons to complete its octet. So here this element will gain 2 electrons, and by gaining 2 electrons, 2 negative charges will be developed on this element. So here it forms an ion with 2 negative charges. So this option is correct. What is given in option B? It has full outer shell of electrons. No, it is incorrect. In the outer shell, in the last shell, there is 6 electrons, so it is incomplete. So this option is also incorrect. Option C, it is a metal. It is also incorrect. In metals, electrons are lost, not gained. And by losing electron, positive charge is developed on metals. So option C is also incorrect. Option D, it is in group 8 of the periodic table. It is also incorrect. For the members of the group 8, in the last orbital, there should be 2 or 8 electrons. In helium, there is 2 electrons. Other than helium, all the members of 8A group have 8 electrons. Here, electrons are 6, so this option is also incorrect. Correct option, option A. Question number 26 is again same from paper 1 variant 1. Question number 27. Which oxide can be reduced to the metal by roasting with powdered iron? Option A, calcium oxide, B, copper oxide, C, magnesium oxide, D, zinc oxide. Here the oxide that can be reduced to metal should be less reactive than iron. Now if we check the reactivity series, in reactivity series we will find that calcium, magnesium and zinc all are more reactive than iron, only copper is less reactive than iron. So we can reduce copper oxide to copper by roasting it with powdered iron. So correct option, option B. Question number 28. Which element, if attached to iron immersed in salt water, would prevent the iron from corroding? Option A, carbon, B, copper, C, magnesium, D, sulfur. Here we have to use a metal as a sacrificial metal that is more reactive than iron. Now here in the options, in option A it is given carbon, in D it is given sulfur. Carbon and sulfur are not metals, so option A and D are not the possible options. Now possible options are copper and magnesium. Copper is less reactive than iron, whereas magnesium is more reactive than iron. So here we have to use magnesium as a sacrificial metal to prevent iron from corrosion. So correct option is option C. Question number 29. The final reaction in the extraction of metal X is represented by the following equation. X2O3 plus 3CO, product is formed 2X and plus 3CO2. What is X? Option A, aluminum, B, copper, C, iron, D, sodium. Here it is given X2O3. X2O3 means oxidation state of this metal X is plus 3, whereas for oxygen it is minus 2. Now if we check aluminum oxide, copper oxide, iron oxide and sodium oxide, in copper oxide, oxidation state of copper is normally plus 2, and in sodium oxide, oxidation state of sodium is plus 1. So B and D are not the possible options. Now possible options are A and C, aluminum oxide and ferric oxide. For aluminum, we know aluminum we get from aluminum oxide by the process of electrolysis, whereas iron is extracted from hematite from ferric oxide in blast furnace, and in blast furnace carbon monoxide react with hematite with ferric oxide and we get iron and carbon dioxide gas. So here our correct option is option C, iron. So here the metal X is iron. Question number 30. Hydrated sodium carbonate decomposes when heated in a Bunsen burner flame. Which equation shows this decomposition correctly? Here we are just heating hydrated sodium carbonate. Hydrated sodium carbonate means here with the sodium carbonate water molecules are present as water of crystallization. So when we will heat hydrated sodium carbonate, in Bunsen burner flame, what will happen? This water molecule will be evaporated and we will get only sodium carbonate. Now if we check all the options A, B, C and D, only in the option B we are looking that this hydrated sodium carbonate is decomposed to sodium carbonate and water molecule. These water molecule will be evaporated in gaseous state. So here our correct option is option B. Question number 31. Aluminum is extracted from aluminum oxide by electrolysis. Which statement about this electrolysis is correct? Option A. Aluminum ions gain electron to form aluminum. Yes, it is correct. Aluminum is positively charged ion. Aluminum has +3 charge. So this aluminum ion gains electron and it is converted to aluminum atom. What is given in the other options? Cryolite is added to increase the melting point of the electrolyte. No, cryolite is added to decrease the melting point of electrolyte. So this option B is incorrect. Option C, cryolite is added to react with impurities. No, cryolite is added to decrease the melting point of the electrolytes. So option C is also incorrect. Option D, the carbon cathode has to be replaced regularly as it reacts with oxygen. Oxygen ion is negatively charged. So negatively charged ion will not move toward the cathode. Negatively charged ion will move towards the anode. So carbon anode we have to change regularly, not carbon cathode. So option D is also incorrect. Correct option, option A, aluminum ions gain electron to form aluminum. Question number 32. Which ion is present in both sewage and fertilizer and can cause eutrophication when it enters river? Option A, carbonate, B, chloride, C, nitrate, D, sulfate. Both sewage and fertilizer, they contain nitrogenous waste. So definitely there will be nitrates. Nitrate is given in option C. So correct option, option C. Question number 33. The diagram shows an experiment to determine the percentage of oxygen in air. Which diagram shows the correct level of water after the candle stops burning? Here it is a bell jar. It is a candle. The candle is burning. Inside the jar and outside the jar there is air. What is meant by air? Air is mixture of mainly nitrogen and oxygen. Oxygen is approximately 21% and nitrogen is approximately 78%. Now it is given that after some time the candle stops burning. Candle stops burning means all of the oxygen present inside the bell jar is consumed in burning. So here oxygen level is 0. When the oxygen level will be 0, what will happen? The air pressure inside the jar will be decreased. Since the air pressure of air is decreased inside the jar, so water level will rise inside the jar. And when the water level will rise inside the jar, outside the jar it will decrease. So what will happen? When all of the oxygen is consumed in burning, the water level inside the bell jar increases. So we check the options now. In option A and B, we are looking that in A, water level inside the jar is decreasing. It is incorrect. It is not possible. Here, the water level remains same. It is also not possible. Possible options are C and D. Now in C, we are looking that the water rises approximately 20%, whereas in D, it is rises in the jar almost 50%. Since percentage of oxygen in air is almost 20 or 21%, so our correct option is option C. Option D is also incorrect option because here water level rises too much. It is raised up to almost 50%, whereas percentage of oxygen in air is only 20 to 21%. So it will rise up to 20 to 21%, not up to 50%. So correct option is option C. Question number 34. How many of the structures show an unsaturated hydrocarbon molecule? Hydrocarbon means compound of hydrogen and carbon. Unsaturated means there should be carbon-carbon double bond or triple bond. It cannot be carbon-carbon single bond. Now we check the compounds. The first compound given here, it is double bond, so it is unsaturated compound. Here one chlorine is attached, so it is not a pure hydrocarbon. Now second compound, in the second compound we have carbon-carbon double bond and all the members are carbon and hydrogen, so it is a hydrocarbon and also an unsaturated because of presence of double bond. So this compound is unsaturated hydrocarbon. In this compound it is COOH group. Here we have carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, so it is not an hydrocarbon. The last one, here it is a hydrocarbon, but in between all the carbon there is single bond, means it is saturated hydrocarbon. So unsaturated hydrocarbon is only this compound, means here only one compound is unsaturated hydrocarbon. One is given in option A, so correct option A. Question number 35. Which statements are correct for alkenes but not for alkanes? Number 1. They turn aqueous bromine from brown to colorless. Yes, it is correct for alkene but not for alkane. Number 1 is correct. Number 2. Their general formula is CnH2n. It is also correct. For alkene, the general formula is CnH2n, but for alkanes, it is not CnH2n, it is CnH2n plus 2. So this statement is also correct. Number 3. They burn in air to form carbon dioxide and water. It is correct for alkanes, not for alkenes. So statement 3 is incorrect. So which statements are correct here? Here statement 1 and 2 are correct. 1 and 2 only is given in option B. So correct option B. Question number 36. Wine is an alcoholic drink that contains ethanol. If wine is left exposed to the air for too long, it can become acidic. This is because the ethanol is, number 1, it is a gap we have to fill, to the acid. Again we have a gap, we have to fill this gap. Which word and formula correctly completes gap 1 and gap 2? First we check the options. In the options, in first column it is given for option A and B oxidize, for C and D it is given reduce. Means here ethanol is either oxidizing or it is reducing to acid. First we check the formula for ethanol and ethanoic acid. For ethanol the formula is C2H5OH and for ethanoic acid it is CH3COOH. Now here we are looking when ethanol is converting to ethanoic acid, one oxygen is added. Here we have one oxygen and here in the acid we have two oxygen, and gain of oxygen is called oxidation. So here we can say ethanol is oxidized to the acid. Oxidize is given in A and B, so possible options are A and B. Now ethanol will be converted to ethanoic acid, means here the number of carbon atoms in ethanol should be same as number of carbon atom in ethanoic acid. In ethanol we have 2 carbon atom, so the acid that will be formed should also have 2 carbon atom, and with 2 carbon atom the acid will be named ethanoic acid. Now 2 carbon atom is given here in option A, so the correct formula of the acid form is CH3COOH and the name of this acid is ethanoic acid. So correct option A, where for number 1 it is given oxidize, for number 2 it is given CH3COOH. Question number 37 is again same as in paper 1 variant 1. Question number 38. The diagram shows the structure of polydichloroethene. Which statement about this polymer is correct? Polymer means change and monomer means unit. Now here you have to find out the monomer. to find out the monomer, what we have to do? This valency of carbon and this valency of carbon in the monomer will combine together and a double bond will be formed in between these two carbon atoms. So in a monomer, there should be a double bond in between these two carbon atoms. Now in A and B, we are looking that we have double bond in between these two carbon atoms. So possible options are A and B. Okay, first we check what is given in the option C and D. In option C, it is given the polymer is formed by a condensation reaction. It is not a condensation reaction, it is an addition reaction. So this one is incorrect. Option D, the polymer has a lower melting point than the monomer. No, it is incorrect. Melting point increases with the increase in molecular formula or with the increase in molecular structure. So in polymer, melting point will be more as compared to monomer. So C and D are incorrect. We have to check only A and B. Now in the monomer, in option A, here it is given chlorine and chlorine. Here it is given hydrogen and hydrogen. Here in the polymer, on one side we have chlorine, on one side we have hydrogen. On one side we have chlorine, on one side we have hydrogen. Whereas in the monomer B, what we are looking, with this carbon, one hydrogen and one chlorine is attached. But here in the polymer, with this carbon atom, both are hydrogen or both are chlorine. That is shown in the option A. So our correct option, option A, option B is incorrect. Question number 39. How can the following reaction be described? Here we have an octane. This octane is cracked in butane and ethene. Here one butane and two ethene molecules are formed. This reaction is called cracking. Now cracking is given in option B. So here correct option, option B. Question number 40. The structure of 4 hydrocarbons W, X, Y and Z are shown. Which row is correct? Here we have 3 columns. In the first column, isomer of each other. Isomer means same molecular formula but different structure formula. Now here for W, how many carbon atom? 1, 2, 3, 4. For X, how many carbon atom? 1, 2, 3, 4. For Y, how many carbon atom? 1, 2, 3, 4. But here we have one double bond. Double bond means it is not alkane, it is alkene. Again here we are looking, it is an alkene with 3 carbon atom. So here Y and Z are not the possible option. Here possible is W and X. So here we can say W and X are isomers of each other because here molecular formula in both the compounds are same but structure is different. So X and W are isomers of each other. Now W and X is given only in option A and B. So we have to check option A and B. In the second column it is given decolorizes bromine. Alkene decolorizes bromine but alkane do not decolorize. So here we have to check which compounds are alkene. Here Y and Z have carbon-carbon double bond. So Y and Z are alkene. So Y and Z will decolorize bromine. Now Y and Z is given in option A. So our correct option, option A. Okay, we will also verify by checking the last column. In the last column it is given branch structure. Here in W it is called branch structure because here one branch is attached. It is called straight chain. Here we have no branch. In Y again we have one branch. But again in Z there is no branch. It is a straight chain. So branch structure is shown in W and Y. W and Y. So here branch structure are in W and Y. Decolorizes bromine are Y and Z. And isomers of each other are W and X. So correct option, option A. Okay, it is end of the paper 1 variant 2 May June 16. Thank you very much.